What is going on, everybody? It is Polar back again today. Now, here's the thing. I had an opportunity to join a project from one of my very good friends. His name's JT, and it was to create a very high-level Madden CFM that incorporated not just some of the best players, but some of the best content creators, and something to make the league a step up from the others that we may have encountered. The thing was, I wasn't going to jump into making content until I was sure that I was sticking around. Now, Madden 20 has been a bit of an up and down road. I can't say I like all the things that have been done with it. The first patch that changed the break on ball mechanics for the defensive backs made it into a very run-heavy game, at least on the competitive end. I believe there was a competitive player who won a game literally by not passing the ball at all and just running. But some of the things in the CFMs I've been playing in, and specifically this one, have made me feel like it's something worth sticking around to, staying involved in. So what I wanted to do is, we're in week 8, we're halfway through the season. That was my cutoff point. I said, you know what, if by week 8 I'm not feeling it, I'll back out. I'll give the spot to someone who can really enjoy it. But I'm really enjoying it. So we're gonna run down what I've got for my team. So first off, we'll look at my schedule real quick through 8 games. We're 6-2, so 2 back-to-back losses here versus the Bills and the Steelers. Honestly, not really sure what happened in these games, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins here. We're in our bye week, week 9 next week, so we get to take a bit of a break, and then we get close our way out on this season. I like a week 9 bye. It just kind of splits the year up, makes everything easy. We look at our standings. We are 6-2, followed by the Browns, who are AFC North. The Browns, who are 4-2, the Ravens, who are 3-4, and the Steelers, who are 2-4. Now, those of you who are saying, what makes this league so good? Why are you so into it? Well, Bears here, that's the official mole. Let's see, Giants, that's Sports Gaming Online, and then if I can find him, he's down here, 3-3. The Dolphins is Cookie Boy 17. So that's really cool for me, as a smaller time content creator, as someone who likes to create content, to have those guys in and around the game. Just so you know, I'm not bugging you. They are here. The Natural, that's SGO. Let's see. Official Mole right there. And then Cookie right there. So yeah, next thing I wanted to look at was the team, the roster, what we got cooking. 8 weeks in, but I haven't made really any roster moves, so to speak. So we're still running Dalton with Mixon, Gio, AJ, John Ross, Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert. I did sign Safari and Jenkins for those 2 tight end sets, and we've got Uzama as well. So signing Safari and Jenkins might not have been the most important thing to do, but was worth it. Offensive line, we're struggling. Really, it's not great, but we are attempting to boost them by A, making content, and B, just playing well. The defensive side of the ball has actually been a lot better than I expected, because you look at these linebackers and you just kind of cry. But Jermaine Pratt, rookie out of NC State, 86 speed, nothing to scoff at. Low rated overall, but decent user. Preston Brown has been all right this year. 75 overall run stopper. He's only at 78 speed, so he doesn't really do a lot. You kind of have to let him play on his own and hope he makes plays. But we have gotten 2 upgrades in dev trait for how well this defense has played. So Carl Lawson has gone up from star to superstar, and he's got strip specialist and finesse specialist. So great off the edge there, Carl Lawson. And then Darquez Denard has gone up. And now, crazy thing is, he's only 78 overall, so he only has 1 ability right now. Hopefully I can get him up to 80 overall to get that second ability unlocked. But for a slot corner to get unfakeable, That is amazing. You send him on a blitz, or if they run to his strong side, right? He's just unstoppable there. And it's thoughts that, like, if I can get to a point where he's got, so I look at the ratings here, 90 speed and 71 tackle. You know, he doesn't have the hit power. His hit power is only like 65. But if I put him at strong safety, right? Like, it's possible there that he could do some work with that unfakeable. Now, Sean Williams has 85 hit power. I really don't want to move him. So Denard in the slot works, but that unfakeable really makes you think about it. And then Jackson and Drake Kirkpatrick have been very good. Obviously, Geno Atkins has been on fire. We're going to look at some of the stats in a minute with respect to how well the team is doing. He's got unstoppable force. He's got reach elite, and he's got power specialist. Geno is probably the second best defensive tackle in the league behind Aaron Donald. Carlos Dunlap has been good. Nothing crazy, but good. And then Jesse Bates has been free safety, plays center field, nothing crazy, does his job. 89 speed, 82 zone, no hit power, to speak of. But he's only 22. He's only, 1 year in the league. So if he keeps, playing well and progressing, I probably won't need a free safety for a long time. So let us take a look at our stats here as the Bengals, just to kind of, take a look. As you can see, Andy Dalton first in passing touchdowns, fourth in passing yards, but almost 2,000 yards through 8 games. The touchdown to interception ratio, I've thrown a few more picks than I want to, and have been completing a couple fewer passes than I would like to. Ideally, I'd like to see that completion percentage number up around 70, and I'd like to see the interceptions be half of TDs, 2-to-1 ratio there. Is what I would like. Now, the league does have a rule where you have to go through 7 weeks without a custom playbook, and we have a user score system that determines whether or not you're eligible to use one. Now, this was my first week with the custom playbooks, and I won 66-7. So I have a feeling that with the custom book, I can do a lot more on offense to help Dalton progress and throw fewer interceptions. Next up, we got rushing. So Joe Mixon obviously leading the way. Not doing as much as I would like, only averaging 80 yards a game. 6 touchdowns is not terrible after 8 games, but I feel like it could be better. 194 yards after contact after 647. That's kind of like, it's a third of his yards are coming after contact, which with a line as bad as it is kind of what's to be expected. And then Dalton has 15 carries for 75 yards, which is actually a decent average. But that's probably going to plummet with the scheme that I'm running. And then receiving, we've got AJ Green doing AJ Green things, leading the league with 9 touchdowns. John Ross is next with yardage, then Eifert, then Boyd. So I like to spread the ball around a lot. But the main touchdown target is AJ. Surprisingly, Safarian Jenkins has 4 touchdowns from those 2 tight end sets that I run on the goal line, which have been pretty good. Blocking, we've given up, how many sacks have we given up? 14 plus that's 23, 24 sacks through 8 games. That's like 3 a game, which is not great, honestly. But, ideally, we can do a little bit better coming up. Getting the ball out quicker, but also making it so that we are not getting beat off the edges badly. Whether it's keeping in an extra blocker or sliding our line or doubling the right person. I just need to get a little bit better at that. Defense is where we've really been shining. So Preston Brown leading the league in tackles with Sean Williams, and then Jesse Bates coming afterwards, and then Pratt, like I said, doing a good job as the rookie there. Tackles for loss is being led Carlos Dunlap, and then Darquez Denard has been really good. But what we really need to look at are the sack numbers. Now, Geno has been going off. X Factor D linemen this year are another level of insane. But now what you need to look at is where some of the other sacks are coming from. So Lawson has 8 sacks. Great job. Another superstar D lineman, second year in the league. Clayton, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. He's just going to be Clayton. He plays as my second slot corner in dime sets, and I like to send a lot of blitzes at a dime. So he and Denard have really been coming home at the quarterback, especially at a DB fire too and things like that. These guys have done a great job blitzing off the edge, and Denard, even in coverage, two pass deflections, 1 for Denard, but Denard also has 2 interceptions, which is great as a slot corner. Dunlap, I said, has been doing okay. He's got 7 tackles for loss and then 5.5 sacks. Pratt has 2 sacks, Willis has a sack, and then Preston Brown has half a sack. And then we look real quick, interceptions here. 3 for Jesse Bates, 3 for Drake Kirkpatrick, 2 for Denard, 2 for B.W. Webb, 1 for Pratt, 1 for Brown, 1 for Jackson, and 1 for Sean Williams. It's crazy that Will Jackson is my highest rated corner, but he is not getting that many picks. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because people aren't throwing it at him or what have you, but that's just kind of how it is. However, he did have 1 interception the last game I played and a touchdown. Drake Kirkpatrick has 2 defensive TDs, Denard has 1, and Jackson has 1, so 4 pick sixes. Can't really complain about that. As far as kicking goes, 27 for 30 on extra points, 10 for 11 on field goals. Randy Bullock from 54 yards out. This is long. So I'm not missing kicks, which is good. 90% on both of them. That's kind of how you like to see it. Kevin Huber, 20 punts with only 6 inside the 20, which kind of sucks. Only 1 touchback, though. So on the scale of punts, if I've only got 1 touchback out of 20, I think I'm doing all right. His net average is 44 yards, which is great, which means, if the average punt is 47 and the net yard is 44, we're limiting the return to 3 yards a punt, which is great. If you can limit your net average to 3 yards a punt. Now I'm just going to look this up real quick. The net yard per punt career leader is Shane Leckler at 47.6. So that's like the top of the top. Johnny Hecker is at 47.0. So right now this season, be like 30th all time for a career. But if we do single season, Tress Way's best was 52.3. And I think that's just standard yards per punt. I'm looking for net yards. Net punt average. Let's see if I can find net punt average. Is that what that is? Punting average, yeah. So right now Tress Way is leading with 52.3 in the NFL. So obviously could be better, but Kevin Huber is not like the greatest punter of all time. Only 65 overall with like 88 kick power. So I think I'm doing all right there. Punting is not something that people look at big time, but I think it's pretty important. The next thing I wanted to look at was some team-wide stats. So our offense has kind of been lagging. We're middle of the pack in the offense as far as total offensive yards. If we look at passing yards, which haven't updated yet, I think we're top 10. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. And then rush yards, we're kind of down there. Points per game, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. Passing touchdowns, we're leading. Rushing touchdowns, we're pretty low. All the way down here. First downs gained is also kind of low. We're at 96, I think. If I can find this again. Let's go back to passing touchdowns because we're at the top. 97 first downs gained, which isn't great. But then if we look at our conversions, I can find myself here. First down conversion. So third down percentage is only 38%, which is pretty garbage. So that's something I've got to work on as far as we go. Fourth down is 3 for 6. Could be better. I've only tried to go for 2 once because I only really try to go for 2 if I have to. And then let's look at our defense real quick. So the Bears lead in total defense. Here we are in 4th. But then we look at passing yards allowed. We lead the league in passing yards allowed. And we are not the best as far as rushing yards. We're down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th from the bottom in rushing yards allowed, which isn't good. But because we can, limit the passing yards to under 100 per game, we're doing pretty well. As far as points given up, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. Sacks, we lead the league in sacks, which is great to see. But we're not turning the ball over as much as I'd like. So if we can get more turnovers, that'd be great. And then if we look at, again, our turnover average, I think we're +3 on the year. Yeah, there we are, +3. So we're positive, which is good. But if we could stop giving the ball away, that would be ideal. Red zone efficiency is the last thing I wanted to look at. I think we're in the 80s somewhere. Yeah, 81%. So again, could be higher. So out of 22 times, we've got 18 conversions, which is okay. Defensive red zone percentage is 87%, which again, like there are people down at 62, which would be great. We are not taking the ball away though, and that's usually how you get that number to drop. So that's the Bengals Week 8 Premier Madden League update. Hopefully I'll have more content for you guys coming from this league as we move forward. But like I said, I didn't want to jump into making content for the league until I was sure that I was sticking around. And Week 8 has come, and I'm pretty sure I'll be here. So if you guys have anything you want to see me talk about, want to see me break down as we go through the season, let me know. All of the games that I play will be streamed on my Twitch channel, which I will link in the description below. I will also link the league website below, as well as the Daddy Leagues if you guys want to check that out. Take another in-depth look at the stats and stuff like that. And that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed my Week 8 rundown, mid-season recap for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I will talk to you guys next time.